I've recently hand-picked and curated a small collection of quilting cotton, but it's not for quilting, it's for garment sewing. What to sew with this type of fabric, and I've got a ton of pattern recommendations. Fabric to pattern matching coming your way. Super practical. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from liftingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing, and today's a bit of a finale on a cotton mini series I've been running on the channel. I love creating content around fabric to help you in your own sewing when you want to pair a certain type of fabric with a certain style. I think it's something a lot of us struggle with, and I did struggle with this in the past. I made a lot of mistakes in the past not pairing the right types of fabric with the types of styles. It's something you learn along the way, trial and error, experience, personal experiences. So I'm just passing all my personal experiences and what I think works really well to you as a way to help you maybe not make some mistakes. Maybe you're going to make them anyway, but at least you won't be too frustrated, especially when you've got really nice fabrics. I know a lot of you have a lot of quilting fabrics in your collection, or maybe you don't, but you've admired the prints, you don't know what to do with them. So I have made a few videos about quilting cotton in the last few days. One was an introduction to quilting cotton and how you sew with it and the differences, how to care for it. I also showed you garments I've made in the past, mostly self-drafted patterns when I had access to quilting cotton. Then I stopped using it for a few years. When I got to Brazil, I really couldn't find a nice source to find really good quality types of cottons that were the prints that I wanted, but that problem is being fixed. I was able to find a really great source that I can go and find online. Super nice. These are not brand fabrics, this is not Liberty. These are local Brazilian brands. So I've made an amazing presto tunic in a floral. Maybe you've seen that video already. And I also took you along on my shopping experience online, and then I got them delivered and I showed you all the cottons I had. I've also shared my stash with you, which was 4 pieces prior to receiving this medium-sized order. So go ahead and look at all the videos if you're interested in sewing with this type of fabric. Now I'm going to take you into my computer and we're going to see. I've opened up a lot of windows there. I have scoured the web. I've given it a good thought so I can recommend to use skirts, pants, dresses, shirts, all those types of things that for sure are going to work with quilting cotton. Some of these patterns even have quilting cotton recommended, in their pattern booklet. So it's not like I'm making it up. But even if I'm not, I'm sure it's going to work. This is just based on my previous experience. If you don't know, I'm not a newbie at sewing. I've been sewing since I was a kid. I started at 11 years old. 43 now, you do the math. So it's been a while. I have made mistakes, and over time, all this business of matching fabric to pattern just comes a little more natural to me at this point, although I do take a while to think about it before each project. I don't just rush it, But I'm passing all of this on to you, so let's hop into my computer. That'll be in my sewing room because I don't have a desk right here to set up my computer. I'm just sitting on a little stool, so let's go to my sewing room for that. I've had a lot of fun, looked at lots of patterns, separated sort of by garment types, different brands, even ones I haven't sewn before. I think the styles are just good for this type of cotton. Look, this is one I found that I would personally not make, but maybe one of you want to try it. And it's from Tilly and the Buttons. I've never actually sewn this brand, but I know it's got great instructions, great for those who are studying. And they have this detachable collar. It's got a little bow there, some ruffles right here, and I think this is perfect for quilting cotton. I mean, this looks like quilting cotton. So it can be reversible. So it says here, cotton works best. So yeah, the instructions are here. I think if you like this type of thing, that is something you can make with quilting cotton and you wouldn't need a whole lot of it. And it's a free pattern. But then I want to look at some skirts. I know I mentioned that you can make full skirts and half circle skirts. I just usually make my own patterns for that. I just use a calculator and calculate the radius and that type of thing. But if you really want a pattern, I know there's one here by Sew Over It, full circle skirt PDF sewing pattern. This one has 3 seams. I believe it's got a zipper and a waistband. So if you don't want to think about the maths, this is an option. Okay, so this goes from sizes 6 to 30 UK up to a waist of 50 inches. This could work for a lot of people. And then I found some from Tilly and the Buttons that are a little bit more structured. I think this is cute. Miette skirt. I think this would be great with quilting cotton. An A-line shape, has patch pockets that would be really easy to sew. That bow, I think it's cute. I think they've made it here in denim, some other structured fabric here. I think this type of liner would be something I would be happy to do with quilting cotton, and it would just highlight the A-line portion of the skirt a lot more. Fabric suggestions: medium weight denim, linen or cotton, nothing too thick or heavy. Yeah, so I think if you had a really nice quilting cotton, this would be a nice type of skirt to make for sure. It's not lined. I think I would consider lining anything I make with cotton, but this skirt isn't lined in the pattern. And then there's this Arielle skirt, which I really like. I think it's a little bit short though, but I've always liked wrap skirts that are like this. This is a longer one. So I know how to draft this myself from my own pencil skirt block, but if you don't want to do that, then you have a pattern here. I think it's really cute, and this would be perfect with quilting cotton. The only thing I do is line it, so I'm not sure if this is lined or not. Okay, yeah, you can line it. The unlined version is an ideal project for confident beginners, or take your sewing prowess up a notch by adding the optional luxury lining. Okay, so with quilting cotton, I would definitely line it, and the fact that this pattern has the instructions and everything to get you there, I think is really good. With Tilly and the buttons, most of the older patterns don't have a great size range. I think a few of the newer ones have a better size range. So this one just goes from a UK 6 to a UK 20, unfortunately. And then the Ness skirt. The Ness skirt is pretty simple. It's the typical like straight skirt with a fly zipper front. It looks like jeans from the front. You've got your yoke, your patch pockets. It's sort of a straight style. You can make it shorter or longer, slightly A-lined. Here is a printed one. So I would make this out of quilting cotton if I found the right print. And yeah, this is definitely not lined, but I would consider lining that. You can line something that has a fly zipper for sure. I'm sure this is not lined. So those are Tilly and the buttons. And then Jennifer Lauren has this cute skirt here. So pretty. You can choose to make this placket double like this or simple, and it's looks like a half circle skirt from what I can see. So I think this is pretty. This is a style I would make with quilting cotton for sure. It says here you can sew it up with a whole bunch of fabrics. It even says here quilting cottons right here. It says quilting cottons. The size range here is from 6 to 20. Same, Jennifer Lauren, her newer patterns have a better size range. I think this is an older pattern, but this is a cute style. And then Deer and Doe have this Chardon skirt. If you like pleats on your skirts, this is a pretty one. It's got really nice pleats. Pleats are really easy to sew with quilting cotton, easy to press, and I think this is cute. It's got an invisible zipper on the back. Yeah, it really highlights this type of silhouette like this if you use a structured fabric like this. I think that's what they're trying to achieve with a really structured fabric right there. Twill, linen, denim, chambray, cotton, sateen. I think quilting cotton can definitely be sneaked into there. And this goes from a size 34 to a 52 European. That is a cute one I thought would work for skirts. Continuing with skirts, there's a glissando from Love Notions. This pattern has pants, shorts and a skirt. So this is the type of skirt. I've made this with linen, I've made it with chambray. I'm sure this would also work with a nice quilting cotton. I would definitely line it though. I don't like the fly with the buttons. I always convert that into a zipper. But an easier way would just be to cut the front on the fold, I think. Add a seam on the back right here, and then just add a normal centered zipper on the back. I would do something like that just to make it easier if I was using a print with cotton. With prints, you can't really see the details, so I think a simple zipper would do it. And then there's a really cute skirt from Itch to Stitch called Vieni, I don't know how to pronounce this, A-line skirt. It's got nice flounces, but they're not completely around the skirt, so keeps the silhouette simple on the waist and the hips. Got pockets I would never put in, but I really like these flounces. They're not too full, and I think with quilting cotton you would really highlight that. This is what I like. Option for lining or not lining the skirt. This is amazing. I would definitely line it. It would look so much better, and it's a really cute skirt. It's an older pattern, one I haven't made from Itch to Stitch, but I think it would be perfect with quilting cotton. If I was using a quilting cotton with a print, I wouldn't do these patch pockets because no one would see them, you know. With a print, I'd keep it really simple. I wouldn't do the inseam pockets either. You know, just keep it simple. There's an invisible zipper at the back, which is perfect, and a really wide waistband that's going to be super comfy. So yeah, this is a style that I like. Now let's look at some dresses. Okay, so this is one from Deer and Doe called Belladone, and I love the back detail here. It's perfect. Quilting cotton would really hold up the structure here that you have on this opening on the back. It's got darts for shaping, a waistband, darts on the skirt, A-line. I think cotton would give you the structure that you need for a type of dress like this. Here's the liner. You can see there's a lot of fitting features here with the bust darts, the waist darts, that waistband. Something structured would look really good. You just have to work on the feet a little bit, but this is nice. Then Cashmerete has the Upton dress. I know this one, a lot of people have made it with quilting cotton and it works really well. It's because it's really well fitted up here on the top. The original one had just bust darts there and waist darts, waistband, and a lot of pleats on the skirt. So a nice cotton would look really good in this type of style. But then they did like an extension pack where you have other options, and this one has princess seams, different necklines, so I think that would work really well. What I wouldn't make with quilting cotton is these maxis. These maxi things are just not my thing. I wouldn't want so much of my body to be covered in a print like that, but that's just me, you know. I think with all these bodice options, the fit would be really good, and you'd have a nice time working with this type of fabric and sewing all these darts and princess seams. And then there's the salt whistle from Love Notions. I think this would be perfect in quilting cotton. If you look at this listing, you'll see a lot of people made theirs in nice structured fabrics. That square neckline would lie really nicely. It would be easy to work with the facings. Maybe I wouldn't do this type of sleeve with that type of detail there on the hem with the elastic. I find that a little bit uncomfortable. I would just hem it normally. But those are just little changes I would make to adapt to the fabric being a little more structured. But I think this would be cute. Same as the Tempo sundress. This is just perfection for cotton. If you find really nice prints, you have a nice well-fitting bodice with darts. That shirring on the back could be really easy to do with the cotton. And then the skirt doesn't have that much gathers. It is gathered, but it's not a lot. So I think this would be really cute in a nice print, and you'd be nice and fresh, and you'd have a nice sewing experience as well. The Sonata dress, I know Tammy created this dress so that quilting cottons could work, as well as other fabrics. The ones I've made have been flowy fabrics, but definitely you can use a quilting cotton. This is Tammy, by the way. She made hers in a cotton. So I wouldn't do the flatter sleeves with a quilting cotton. I would just do the regular sleeves. I would do sleeveless. I would do the long sleeves, maybe convert that into a little cuff. But that facing, that would be perfect for quilting cotton. Then this is a dress I've made from Itch to Stitch, the Recoleta dress. I've made 3 of these, 2 in linen and 1 in crepe. And look at this liner. It's such an amazing fitting bodice. It has cup sizes and A-line skirt. Perfect. You know, a structured fabric would really do well with this type of design. So I would make that in a quilting cotton. And then this dress, oh, I've wanted to make this one for so long and I still haven't got there. I've already made a muslin even, but I made that muslin like 3 years ago, so I would have to make another one. The Oya dress from Itch to Stitch is so pretty. It's structured, it's got those ties there with those grommets, really thick straps here that are going to cover any bra, really well fitting with the cup sizes. Here is the line art. Is this lined? Yes, it's fully lined. So that is what you want in a dress when you make it out of cotton. So this is a dress I would make 100% in a quilting cotton. And then the corsage, I've already made this one in cotton, and I've made one for my mum in cotton. This can be a top or a dress, and it's got raglan sleeves. Instead of having that shoulder dart there, you have some gathers there, which gives you a little bit more flexibility, makes the sleeves more comfortable. And here they look like they're flared or butterfly sleeves, but they really aren't. They're just a little wider, hem normally, or you can put a casing there. I would just leave them hem normally, and you have a well-fitting bust dart. And then I've already made this Alder shirt dress so many times in quilting cotton. It's got 2 views. I've already talked about this one the other day. One's just really simple, sort of straight A-lined. I did add waist darts to mine here and on the back. And this one that has this insert with gathers, I converted those to pleats to make them lie flatter. Just my personal preference. So on the back here, instead of all these gathers, I had a couple of pleats. So that's the only change, but it really did work with the quilting cotton. So now I have some tops and shirts, anything that goes on top. Deer and Doe again, the Datura blouse. I've been looking at this one for years for this detail on the neckline. It's got these little triangle cutouts finished with bias binding around here. I think that is really cute and would work with cotton. It's got a back yoke. It's got a little placket on the back. This yoke is curved. It's got a bust dart. You know, it's not going to be super boxy on. I think that's really good. I think Deer and Doe draft for a C cup, I believe. So if I had a larger cup size, I would do a full bust adjustment. They've used cotton from the brand Liberty. So I think it's perfect for cotton. I think this is really cute, and you'd have a nice experience sewing that type of neckline. And also this Peter Pan collar, which I'm not a fan of. I used to be. But at this point in time, I'm not sewing Peter Pan collars. That button placket at the back would be really easy to manage as well with the cotton. Then the Arielle button down from Love Notions. I've made this one already in cotton. Okay, here's the liner. I've made several of these in different types of fabrics, but I have one in quilting cotton and it's really nice. Works really well. You don't see the bust dart here, only the full bust option has the dart, so the standard bust doesn't have it. And the Melody Dolman, this one is also one that is going to work with quilting cotton. I know a lot of people have made it with quilting cotton. The only thing is the reverse side of the cotton is sometimes not too pretty, so I probably wouldn't tie it up like this. If that was the case, I'll just wear it normal like that. But yeah, everything would be super easy to do. The collar, I have tutorials on this type of collar, by the way. It's really easy if you just add a facing on the back, then it's just so easy. So that's definitely one that works. The Montana shirt, I've made this once with a chambray. I've made it also out of chiffon. It's a really nice pattern. It's got all the bells and whistles, you know, collar stand, everything. And it also has a tied up feature. I probably wouldn't do the tie up feature if it was a cotton, if it was a quilting cotton, because the backside isn't too nice. I just wear it normal. This has bust dart, so it's going to be a really good fit up here, which is what you want. So I think this is a really nice pattern. And then just a little while ago, I made the Presto tunic in a quilting cotton. You've seen that on the channel already if you've been following along. So definitely it works. I've also made it with rayon and other fabrics, but that liner here, you can see all this inset here, the little corners, the placket, the collar, really easy to manage with the quilting cotton. Now with the cadence, I've made this a couple of times in cotton for my mum. So there are shaping features like the seam on the back, the bust darts. So it's not totally boxy and shapeless, although it does have a bit more ease. It could stand a little bit away from the body. So when I wear garments that are a little bit less shaped at the waist, I just wear something fitted at the bottom, like fitted pants or a pencil skirt, and that's how I get around with it. But then I can breathe and live my life and be comfortable and not have to be so, you know. This one from Each Stitch is perfect for cotton, the Dana point top. I've made this in a type of cotton. It's a fully lined garment, which I think is really nice. The shaping on the waist comes from a lot of tucks here, as you can see, so they're not darts, they're just sewn partially, and it brings it in at the waist, and it's so lovely. This is really nice. For sure it would work with cotton, chai dress and top. This has a lot of fitting features also that would work well with cotton. It's more of an empire line, and you've got a little bit of gathers under the bust, a waistband, an A-line skirt, collar and collar stand, placket, the works. It's a really fun pattern to take your time with. It's not one you're going to make in an hour, but it's really nice. I've made it with a really structured fabric already, and I know it would work in a nice cotton. From Helen's Closet, the Ashton top is a really simple one. It's got bust darts, so that's nice, but it's a little bit more cropped, a little bit more boxy, and I believe they have an extension pack to add sleeves to this. So this is a really simple one I would make with a really striking print where I don't want to cut it up and have a lot of seam lines in there. There's the liner. The bust darts are there. You're gonna have a nice fit on the top here, and if it's a little bit boxier at the bottom, just wear something a little bit more fitted on the bottom, so that's nice. And then there's the Gilbert top from Helen's Closet also, that would work nice. I like this one because it's got a set-in sleeve, the camp collar, everything like that. I probably wouldn't tie it up. Okay, so I would just sew this version like this, that's straight down, and it has a type of bell sleeve. I would probably slim it down a little bit if I was making it with cotton. I also have some pants. These are the poppy pants from Sinclair Patterns. I've made these in linen, in crepe, and I know they would work really well in a cotton. This looks like a cotton actually here on the listing. These are flat front elasticated bags, sort of a tapered leg, not too tight, not too loose. I think the ease is perfect. And they are pull up, so really comfortable, and because it's flat on the front, you don't get the bulk from the cotton on the front, which I think is great. So I think I would definitely be making these in a cotton. And I've definitely made the Pietra pants from a quilting cotton, a green one. I made this tapered leg style. I made mine a little shorter because I'd run out of fabric. This one's a little bit cropped above the ankle. I would make this style. I wouldn't make the wide leg style. I think this would just be too much volume for a stiffer fabric. And the shorts, I would make the shorts out of the cotton as well. I love the pockets on these pants, and they're just so comfortable. Yeah, I've made shorts, but I've made mine about 2 inches longer. And then the glissandos are back here. I would make the shorts. I wouldn't make the pants out of quilting cotton. I would just leave that for heavier fabrics. But the shorts I think would be cute in a quilting cotton for sure. And then I found one at Style Arc that's really simple. Darts. On the inside, it's got a facing, it's got a zipper on the back. So if you're working with a lovely print, you know, those details don't matter because the zipper just becomes functional. It's not decoration as such. So I think these are nice and I like the length. And then if you want to make capris or shorts for lounging, the Luna Loungewear has these really cute shorts and capri pants that can be made with woven or with knit fabrics. I have made woven Luna shorts and I would make that with a quilting cotton as well for lounging. I think this is a cute pattern. So these are just examples. If you have patterns that sort of match the style, if you have patterns for other shirts or other dresses that sort of match the vibe that I'm showing you, then cotton is going to work also. These are just examples. I cannot possibly reference every single pattern there is in the planet. So I've done my best to find the ones that I think are going to work really well. I know a lot of indie brands focus more on projects for knit fabrics. So that's why it's a bit harder to find these patterns that are designed for woven fabrics. I repeat again, if you have a pattern made for knit fabrics, you cannot use that to sew up woven projects. So don't try to size up or change. It's just not going to fit. It's going to be super uncomfortable. You 100% need to find patterns that are designed for woven fabrics that don't stretch. I hope this was helpful. I had a lot of fun looking. I hope I've inspired you. I've also inspired myself. Before I had 4 quilting cottons in my collection, and now look, I've got a really nice amount. I've made a playlist with all these videos about quilting cotton and how you can apply this fabric to your garment sewing. So I think it's helpful to find them in one place. It's linked down below. That's all from me today. And if you're curious to see all my quilting cottons, the most recent ones I got, check out the video here on the screen. I'll see you soon with more sewing. Bye.